Hey everyone watching babybrunch.co.za. Today we're chatting to Fay van Eeden. She's from Enroute Foodie and she's also an eco-warrior. Tell me more about Enroute Foodie.
I've always been a documenter, so my husband's always been teasing me. Wherever we go, whatever we're doing, I'm always taking photos, documenting everything. And so in lockdown, I decided, well, why don't I just share it with the world? So I started my own blog.
It's amazing, but then you're also an eco-warrior. You're fighting for something.
Yes, fighting for the environment. I think I've always been a warrior for the environment since a little kid, but since my little girl's been born, it's taken it to a whole new level. Yeah.
We want to build an eco-conscious home and then also teach this to our children. Where do we even start?
Oh, wow. How long have you got? We're using these 5 R's to start living a little more eco-conscious. So first, refuse. So you go to that conference and you get that goodie bag with the pens and the papers, and you take the pen home and throw it in with the rest of the million pens you've got. Refuse is about saying no to those things we don't need. And we all love freebies, let's be true, let's be honest. We love those little shampoo bottles in the hotel room. Refusing is about saying, do I really need it? And learning to say no to these things and teaching our children to say no to the things we really do not need. Second R is reduce. And the question you want to ask yourself there is, do I really need another? We've got so much. And the question about reducing has really helped me to live a simpler life. And I think, is that not what we want for our children, living simpler? And reducing has helped me focus on quality instead of quantity and experience above stuff. And we've started reducing a lot of things in our home. Easy things, like not using plastic toothbrushes, but using bamboo toothbrushes. Making our own cleaning products instead of buying them in plastic packaging. So reducing the amount of stuff we're bringing into our home. Then reusing. And I think the wonderful thing there is that we can encourage our children to choose for reusables above disposables. So reusable coffee cups, reusable straws, reusable bottles. Instead of buying things, using them, chucking them away, let's see what we can reuse. And then recycle. I always thought that I was an eco-warrior because I was recycling. But then I realized that I need to be doing a lot more before I get to recycling. And those 5 R's are the lot more before recycling. But recycling is also important, and it makes a big difference. In our country, we can recycle cardboard, glass, paper, aluminium, and plastic, but not all the plastics. And I think that's where recycling gets a little bit tricky for a lot of people. And recycling actually starts in the shop when you're deciding what products to buy. So I'd rather buy a glass bottle of tomato sauce than a plastic bottle because I know glass can be recycled. Plastic, I'm not so sure about. If I've got 2 yogurts in my hand, I'm going to be looking for the one that's got the triangle with a 1 or a 2 in because I know that plastic can be recycled. And teaching our kids to know that things can be recycled and it's important to recycle. The 5th R is rot, composting. And if you take into account that 1/3 of the average household's garbage is organic, then composting makes a lot of sense. And there's many options. You can make a compost heap, you can have a worm farm, Google it, find out about it. But for me, it's wonderful when my little toddler walks with me to the compost heap with a little tin from our kitchen and a little tin from our bathroom, and we go and throw away the compostables, and she's part of the journey. So that's our 5 R's.
So, I mean, there's refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, recycling. We recycle, but we don't rot. And some of these eco-jargon or terms can be quite overwhelming. So my question is always then, why are we doing it? Isn't it the preference to the yogurt that you enjoy instead of the container that you need to recycle? Why is it important to build an eco-conscious home or to just be aware of it at least?
A few years ago, my family and I took part in Plastic Free July. And Plastic Free July is this global movement that encourages people, families to cut back on single-use plastic in their homes or cut it out completely. Now, single-use plastic is not your tapperbakkie and it's not the plastic chairs you've got in your stoep. It's that plastic that we use once and then we chuck it away. And when I started doing this, when I went to the shops during this July month, I literally did not want to go to the shops. It was too traumatic because when I walked in there, I realized there's nothing I can buy almost that's not packaged in plastic. And what I started realizing is we bring so much single-use plastic in our homes. We use it, we throw it away. Throw it away is an interesting thing as well because we don't throw anything away. What we do is we just move it from one space to the other.
Give me an example. I mean, I see tea bags on the table. I understand your why and why it's so important to you, but I mean, what could you possibly do with a tea bag? I mean, what does it become? How do you reuse a hele fles teesakkies?
So we keep our tea bags, we dry them, and then we pour paraffin in and just keep the jar.
For
and
firelighters.
For firelighters, you've got it. So just using it instead of throwing it away, because you must remember tea bags contain plastic. So we chuck it onto the landfill, that plastic breaks down.
I am never drinking tea ever again.
It seeps into our soil, it pollutes our soil, our water, our ground. I was shocked the other day to hear that Dutch scientists found microplastic in human blood, which means that we are poisoning not only our planet, we're poisoning ourselves with the packaging, the produce, the things we bring into our home. And I don't want to live in a planet that's poisoned. I don't want my little girl to live in a planet that's poisoned.
What else is on the table?
These are some of my favorite products. Here we have a reusable coffee cup made of bamboo. One of my favorite handbags made of recycled plastic bottles, PET bottles.
This is amazing.
It's amazing. Other option or alternative to cling wrap are these cute little cloth covers that you put over your bowl of salad or leftovers instead of using cling wrap. I love this. I love this, love this, love this. I hate those little thin plastic baggies that you have to put your vegetables and fruit in at the shops because you can't recycle them. You just chuck them away. So I take this along with me. I take my little girl shopping with me. We pop in the loose tomatoes or onions and we weigh it in this bag and no plastic that goes.
You should
home
weigh
with
it
me.
outside the bag so that you don't pay extra for all that. What is it made of?
Cotton.
So it's a cotton bag. Does it help with preserving it, or is it just the way it's being?
It's just that you don't bring single-use plastic into your home again. Yeah.
I'm going to try this because this is actually the easiest solution. I mean, I picked up tomatoes yesterday and a whole lot of veggies. What's your message to parents who desire to have an eco-conscious home, that desires to have a home that uses less plastic? I mean, are we really teaching something to our children?
I think each household is different and unique. And there's so many things you can change in your household. There's so many swaps you can make, but don't do them all at once. So choose a few, make a few changes, make a few swaps, use these 5 R's and implement them and take your children along on the journey. I think living eco-consciously is a journey. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but getting our children involved is a great, great way of teaching them about the planet and about saving the planet. And if we can do that, then they're going to take care of nature. I think if we can instill this love and this wonder in them for nature, then it's not going to be a bunch of do's and don'ts. Don't use that and do this. It's just going to be a way of life. And that's what I want for my little girl.
Follow Fay van Eeden, Enroute Foodie. You can find her on her blog and also on social media.